ready to roll. Ryan?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Monday, May 13, 2019 Southwest Vermont Regional Technical School District. I have a cold, so please accept the fact that it will be a little more muffled than even usual. So let's move on to public comments. Seeing none, we'll also move right on to the consent agenda. We have the consent agenda with the minutes from the Regional Board meeting on Monday, April 9th, 2019. May I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Franny moved. Ken second. All, or discussion?
I have a question on one of the payroll, not the payroll, the vendor warrants.
From that meeting? From that meeting? Talk about,
The ones tonight,
no,
are
well,
they
that's
part of
coming.
the consent?
10:44?
It's, wait a minute, that's coming. We're still
Okay.
talking about the board meeting from April. We're trying to make it move. Any discussion? Seeing none, raise your right hand if you agree. Unanimous? Okay, let's go to payroll warrants. 1,046, 1,047, and 1,048.
So moved. Second.
Franny moved, Ken second. Discussion. Sure, now you're quiet.
Hang on, I'm trying to find them.
Thank you, Tyler.
I'm lost in paper. There was a $100 charge for a name change on an airline fare.
Yes,
What do we need that for?
because one of the students from
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico did not go.
Okay.
And in order not to lose the ticket, we were able to change the name to be able to use it. Otherwise, we just would have lost.
I wasn't questioning that, I'm just
No,
trying to
but
understand
that's the
it.
reason why.
Yes, I can vouch for that personally. You forget something out of your own name, and you gotta repay another $25 or $50 to get a new up-to-date pass. Yep. Okay, anything else? Seeing no more discussion, all in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Vendor warrants 1,044 and 1,045.
So moved. Second.
Franny moved, Ken second. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous? Okay. Cash flow is in your Dropbox, along with the revenue and expenses. Committee reports. There were no committee reports that I'm aware of, except for the superintendent director's evaluation that we started last Wednesday morning. And let's see, Jackie and John McDonald and Leon and myself had a real riveting discussion, and we decided we'll hold it over for a week, which will be this coming Wednesday. So hopefully at June's meeting, we should be able to go into executive session and describe what we found to the whole board. Other than that, I don't think we have anything for committee. We have a lot of action items though. So let's move on to the nomination for the video production instructor.
In your Dropbox or your hard copy packet, there's a nomination to replace Tim Foley, who knows retiring this year, for Ryan Scott. There was 14 applicants received. We interviewed 3. You can see the committee that was put together there for the interviews. This is for a 1.0 FTE position. Ryan comes with 12 years of experience, both with CAT TV and his own company, Scuttle Productions, since 2007. And Ryan has a BA in English and Communications from MCLA.
May I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Franny motion, Ken second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, raise your right hand. Welcome, Ryan.
I just want to know, are you still going to do our meetings?
Yeah.
I know.
It's not,
Yes, other duties is.
it's not often we have a teacher candidate who's behind the camera.
So if we win, we lose. Wow, amazing.
You actually have more experience than I was aware of, and I didn't know it until I read the nomination.
All right, let's take a look at the policy. It's C 7,300, public participation at board meeting. I believe we're just warning it.
Just a warning.
May I have a motion for that?
So moved. Second.
Franny made the motion, Ken second. Any other discussion on the warning for the public participation at the board meeting? Seeing none, all in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. The FBLA field trip to San Antonio, Texas.
This is an annual trip for the national competition for FBLA. This year it's in San Antonio. It's somewhere different every year. We have 5 students going, 1 chaperone, and that is from June 28th to July 3rd, so actually after school.
You want to say what FBLA is?
FBLA, for those who aren't aware, are the Future Business Leaders of America.
Do we need motions on all these?
Yes.
Separate, okay.
I'll move.
Brandy moved, Ken second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, raise your right hand. It's unanimous.
May I ask a question? There's only one chaperone?
Correct, 2 adults, the instructor and the chaperone.
Okay.
Always travel with a minimum of 2.
Yes. Expenditure up to $40,000 for a CDL tractor trailer and a CDL tractor bid. Would you like to expand on that? We already, I'm a little confused. No, I'm a little confused on it. Did we actually approve that at the last meeting,
We
or
approved the amount. I
Yeah.
or was it
Yes.
committee that we?
No.
No, the committee approved it and
Approved
and
it.
sent it on to the
Before the
full board.
And we sent it on to the board.
And the board,
The only reason I'm asking that is for some reason, I thought we couldn't approve it because it wasn't on the agenda.
We
had that committee just before the meeting.
Gentleman, he could look for it for a maximum of $40,000.
Right.
Right, you were going to move it to this meeting for the approval of the amount.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's what, so this is a motion for that amount?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Fran, you moved it?
Yeah.
And Ken second. All right, any further discussion?
What is the motion?
The motion is that we expend up to $40,000 for a CDL tractor trailer / CDL tractor bid, which is enclosed in our packets.
You should take them separately.
Yes, and previously we discussed why we needed it, and the reason for it was to have more students be instructed at the same time,
Correct.
and save the amount of money that is expended to take students for their testing.
It is the same thing, wasn't it? The next one was the bus.
Next one's the bid.
Okay,
Want to go over
has
okay, gotcha. Okay.
this one that he would like to buy, has that been inspected by anybody here?
No.
No.
No. Rob, do you want to talk a little bit about the process?
Sure.
Of the-
So we solicited bids, well, we received bids from 4, I don't know,
Vendors?
suitors? I don't know. Vendors, there we go.
Vendors, yes.
Suitors, I don't know. So, as you can see, 2 were rejected because they did not meet our specifications. Neither were able to follow directions, apparently. We received 2 bids that did meet our specifications. The truck that is in Miami was significantly older, with significantly more miles, though the price was lower. And so we decided to go with the bid from Fox and James, which is a national lease affiliate. One of the nice parts about that is these are fleet-maintained trucks, so we have more confidence in its repair history and its maintenance. So, in consultation with Dave Dents, who is our forestry instructor and CDL instructor, this tractor was chosen.
Right, so it's a 2014 Freightliner. The difference from the truck in Florida was a 2006, just as clean, but nearly had almost 900,000 miles on it, which from our instructor's standpoint, these trucks are good for about 1 million miles, and that's about where it's at. The 2014 Freightliner is obviously much newer. It has a little over 500,000 miles on it. We won't put a lot of miles on it. It'll be a lot of hours for us. our instructor ran us through who repairs our big machinery and equipment, and the repair facility said this is a very common engine, pretty common truck, and, you know, should be fairly reliable. Obviously, anything needs repair once in a while, but, so to answer your question, no, Ed, we have not physically looked at it, but they actually sent us
I
about
see all the
35 pictures, and
the
we put some
information.
in here for you as well. Although, the joke in the office was that you can't see it in here, the other truck was a baby blue, and I said, no, we can't have a baby blue truck, so.
It was a what?
Baby blue was the color, light blue, right?
Powder blue, like a
Powder
suit,
blue,
like a big
excuse me.
suit from the 70s with big lapels on it
It was a
and
big
everything.
debate in the office whether it was white or powder blue because of what screen you looked at it on, and ultimately it was powder blue, and I was like, no way. Anyway, that's the truck that we bring for you tonight for approval. It's the 2014 Freightliner.
May we have a motion?
Second.
Brandy made the motion, Ken made the second. Any further discussion on
Are we approving just the amount or approving the
The amount.
purchase of this vehicle?
We're approving the purchase. We approved the amount.
Okay.
Up to 4.
That's not what it says, though. It says expenditure of up to 40,000. It doesn't say purchase on the agenda.
That's why I asked.
That's why we got a CDL tractor bid right underneath it.
Right.
Does that make a difference?
Well, this is, so we had the expenditures of up to 40,000, which you warned for this meeting to approve, followed by the next item, which is a CDL tractor bid on the agenda, which this is what we have here, the four bids.
Oh,
And which
okay.
was less than the
Right.
amount.
Well, I'm just making sure
No.
we're setting the right thing. in
By all
motion.
means, Jackie. Any further discussion or confusion? Because I get there too.
Just to make sure that we have the right wording on it. It's not expenditure, it's purchase.
Right.
All right, all in favor of buying the truck? Raise your hand. It's unanimous. Okay, we have an expenditure up to $35,000 for an 18-passenger bus. May I have the motion?
So moved.
Brandy made the motion, Ken second. Discussion.
Last time we discussed, since Southern Vermont College was closing, if they had some vehicles that we could
Yep.
purchase.
We looked into that, not the actual purchasing of the vehicles, but the types of buses that they have do not meet our requirements. The bus that we need to purchase is what's considered a Type A minibus. It has to be National School Bus yellow with the black hood. It has to have all literally the bells, whistles, and lights on it in order to be DOT compliant. And for us to use it as a bus to drop students off from point to point. It's not like our activity buses that we have. So I do not have a bid tonight for you for a bus. We have taken some time to get the RFP together. It's going to go out probably tomorrow. There's a million options on a bus, so we're trying to get those specs out so it meets our needs.
You would have to have handicap.
It does not have to. No. And from last month, that is, whatever bus we do find, it'll be used, but newer, but it's replacing a 20-year-old bus that we have, just can't be inspected anymore after this year, so.
How much is the general cost of a brand new one that we can get 20 years out of?
Brand new bus was, the last bus we bought was between $65,000 and $70,000.
Okay.
Yeah, so about double.
I don't know how much money is left in the funds. I don't want to know. I mean, we're throwing money out here.
This, to give you an idea, the bus that we're replacing is 20 years old. We have not owned it for 20 years, and we've owned it for, I think, please don't hold me to the exact year, 12 to 13 years. I mean, as we've had it, we bought it used, so I mean, it's been a good run for us, quite frankly. And back then, I think we paid about 20, Tom said 22 to 25,000 for it, so, and that was 12 some years ago. That's what I have.
Okay, let's move on. No, I guess we got to take a vote on it. All in favor of That expenditure of $35,000, raise your right hand. All in favor, unanimous? Okay. Univent room heating cooling unit replacements up to $42,000, and that was based on, we believe there are 3 units need to be replaced at approximately $14,000 each.
Correct.
Yes.
Motion.
So moved. Second.
Franny made the motion, Ken second, discussion.
Do we have any bids on this yet, or any RFP? That,
This was coming from Paul Dansereau, so I will have to get with him.
Right, this is through facilities, so Paul takes care of that.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, he's given me the estimated amounts for the 3 univents is approximately, as Ricky said,
I did call
14,000.
Vermont Efficiency after the last meeting of the Finance Committee and asked them, what can you do for us with the heat pump arrangement to replace this equipment? And the guy was rather honest. I told him who I was and I was part of this board. And he says, okay, I'll be really honest with you. You can probably save a little bit of money because we'll give you a $300 rebate on the heat pump.
That's pretty nice.
And then he says, but you're going to need another source of heat because a heat pump can't handle the cold temperatures we have in Vermont. And yet they're pushing these things all over the state for residential heating.
And you have to remember that these are all tied into a very complex system.
Plus, it won't bring any fresh air in and out of the building, those heat pumps. I have them at home. They work well, but they don't transfer heat, you know.
Yeah. You open a window. Huntington used to have that in the winter in some classrooms because they were too hot.
Any other discussion?
I heard what Ed was saying, and I'm just wondering, is that good practice for us as board members to
Well-
approach things along that line when we should have the administrators doing the actual verification and documentation and bringing the stuff back to the board? It's okay educational-wise, I think, for us to understand and know what it is, but
Well,
not
that's-
to try to.
What I was trying
Yeah.
to get, just basic information. Is there anything available that would help a school out?
I think what Leon's getting, if I'm interpreting it correctly,
Please.
Paul does get bids, and, there's only so many vendors that can work on the system which is here. It's my understanding that these units that are being replaced, some are almost original to the building. There's one upstairs in 222, which is in pre-law, which sounds like a freight train, and just it needs to be replaced. And there's actually 2 units down here in 156, which is L&A. I guess because it's a bigger room, I don't know, there's two units within the one room. And these will be not only heating, but also cooling, which those rooms don't currently have. And, thank you. That's quiet compared to the one upstairs. So, I can certainly bring back documentation to the board. These expenditures this has not been spent yet. It's not even planned until over summer. So this was really just to approve replacing these, and I'll certainly have Paul come and present and the quotes to you for the next board meeting.
See no other discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous? Superintendent's report.
All right, Meg and I are going to tag team this report tonight, so do you want to go first or me? I'll go first.
No, I'll go.
Fine.
Okay. First, I want to thank the board for your continued support with our CTSOs. And we have some exciting news to share with you, how our students have done. Our Skills USA competition, which was in Burlington, Vermont. We had 3 programs participate: medical professions, manufacturing technologies, and law enforcement. Out of that group, we had 13 gold medalists, 3 silver, and 6 bronze. And 9 students will be going to the national competition, which is usually at the end of the school year. For DECA, what's impressive is at the DECA competition, our students were competing against 21,000 kids. So, you know, that to me is so impressive. We had the first medalist in at least 25 years from our school, and that was Victoria Pembroke. She received a silver medal. She won it in apparel and accessories, and it consisted of a written test and then a role play. So Victoria actually will be going on to compete in the national competition, which I think is huge. We also had a logging competition. We had students place first, second, and eighth this year. And culinary just came back from the National Pro Start Invitational. They don't have their results yet, but, you know, I had asked Chef, what are they graded on? What are they evaluated on? And she provided me with this list that is like astonishing. Part of the evaluation includes your check-in, which includes making sure your products are properly packaged when you get there, making sure that your inventory list is complete. They also get evaluated on their work organization and teamwork, so how they work together, if they share the responsibility in their competition. I mean, it's much more than just food, and it's much more than just presenting the food. You know, and I think that's important for people to know, because these are also things that our teachers are covering in their programs. You know, Chef doesn't just teach the kids how to cook. You know, it's much more about the profession and being, you know, being successful in your profession, which includes things like food handling and work area being cleaned and proper food handling, safety and sanitation procedures. So, and that's typical of most of the competitions that our students go through. So, but I want to thank the board for your continued support for our students. The experiences that they have at these competitions, they won't get anywhere else, you know. We also had 9 new LNAs complete their testing, so that's exciting. And that program continues to grow. We were supposed to tag team, but I guess it was all about me.
I will add one thing. At Skills USA, cosmetology also competed.
Yes.
At Skills, and we had over 40 students this year at 10 Skills in Burlington, and we are extremely proud of them. And again, for those that are listening at home that don't know what a CTSO is, it's our career and technical student organizations. It's the equivalent of our sports teams, if you will, for the tech centers. And we have several CTSOs here at our center, with Skills USA being the largest. We also have FBLA and DECA and FFA and some others. So we have a lot of students that participate in this. So for my part, what I'd like to add that Meg didn't take from me was that at next month's meeting in June, there will be a presentation from the students that went to Puerto Rico. I know that this time last year it was done in May, but they were gone a little longer this year, and so it will be presented to you at the next board meeting. Everyone's back. It's my understanding the house is still under construction and is not nearing completion, but it's making progress from my understanding. So we're hoping to see that done in the next month or so. I'd like to mention June 4th, which is just around the corner, I can't even believe it, is our annual awards banquet at the Elks Lodge at 6 p.m. To note, this is our 50th anniversary as a school, of being recognized as a tech center, that is. And so there's a little bit of special theme this year for the 50th anniversary. We won't see that again for another 50 years, obviously. So you'll be getting an invitation in the mail, again, June 4th at 6 p.m. We're just going through the award nominees now and figuring out capacity and what we're going to have and that type of stuff. If you've not attended it before, I would encourage you to attend. It's a very nice night. We can't highlight everything there. There's not a venue in this town large enough to hold, to celebrate everything that we do. There just isn't. So we try to keep it just to the awards banquet and just to the technical excellence, special recognition, scholarships, the superintendent's award, and also National Technical Honor Society. Those are what we cover. And perfect attendance, thank you. Which I'm hoping is more than last year. We'll get to that later. And finally, what I'd like to mention, I hope that you all got a chance to see the wonderful article in the Bennington Banner featuring Tim Foley. Great photo, great write-up. I just want to kind of highlight, Tim completed his final play here in conjunction with Anthony and the Drama Club. Tim has been teaching for 26 years in theater and video productions. And Tim doesn't recall how many plays he's actually put on over the course of his 26 years. So Meg and I did some really rough napkin math today. We know he does about 3 to 4 plays a year, like that's on average. So I can confidently say that in his time here, Tim has produced at least 75 plays for the community. There's probably more, quite frankly, but that's the minimum count. And if you've not had a chance to attend one of Tim's plays, they are well done, they are well attended, and it's pretty amazing what students get to do in the arts. And I think that somewhat in today's school systems, the arts are kind of forgotten about or put on the wayside for other things. And it's so important to have the arts and music and creative work at schools. Tim is going to be missed, genuinely. I know this is bittersweet for Tim with him. This is his last school year. And he said he doesn't think it'll hit him as hard until the first day of school in the fall when he doesn't come back here after all that time. So I just wanted to, say that. And Tim, we're going to miss you, and some big shoes to fill. And we're looking forward to Tim enjoying his retirement. Although he threatens to come back and sub once in a while, which is totally welcome, because Tim has a CDL and he can drive field trips for us. So that's what I have, we have for the administrative report tonight.
That's it.
That's it.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Not to put anybody on the spot or anything, but when we have what appears to be an unusually good success at like Skills USA and these other competitions, is there any way we could go back historically and look at all the different years and what has accomplished and put it all together in a inexpensive booklet, because it would be a great little marketing tool for this school?
Or an honor roll on the wall.
Yeah, I've thought of that at times too, and nobody else was interested in it except for you and me.
Well, that's something I can put our outreach coordinator to work on. I'm sure Nicole will be happy to work on.
Yeah, well, we've done exceptionally well
Yeah.
most of these years compared to other schools, like 13 winners in Burlington for
gold,
Skills
yeah.
USA. Is there another high school in Vermont that's had 13, that came away with 13 gold medals? Probably not.
Right.
And we should be making use of that type of performance, production capability of this school to sell it to everybody else, especially parents and students.
I think that's a good point, Ed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good idea.
I did realize I missed one thing.
Jackie has some.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I think we're thinking of the same thing, the form, the nomination form. There's another nomination form here.
There is?
Yeah, for Nicole.
That was from a year ago. That was somehow accidentally put into the
I see, okay. Thank you.
folder, because that baffled me too. I said, what?
Gotcha, I don't see it in mine, so maybe it was
It was there when I looked, and I said,
It's
why?
still there.
Why is that there? And obviously, it was an accident.
gets, because she's been working here for a while, so.
Yeah.
This should be in your Dropbox. If not, if you have a hard copy, it's our 2019 end of year schedule. I'm not gonna go through this line by line. We'd be here till like 10 o'clock tonight. But I just wanted to demonstrate to you and look at what it takes to close down and wind down a school year of a center or a school that has multiple sending districts, but large or small, and what it looks like starting from 5/7, which is, well, it's already started, until June, until graduation, and then after. There are probably 25 or more plus events on here that occur in the next 20 days. And that is everything from MEU and Hoosick Falls and Burton and Arlington. There's different testing days, there's different times that grades are due, there's different days that seniors are done. It's crazy. And this is a huge burden on our teaching staff in order to coordinate all of these things. And it's no one's fault, it's just the way the different calendars are set up and teacher contracts and student days. It's just not as simple as winding down a school year with the same population. And I just want to give credit to the teachers who do this every year in and year out on the staggered ending and staggered start of their school year. Coming from the classroom myself, I can tell you it's never easy. We start losing our program students very soon, one by one by one, until there's hardly anybody left by graduation, all the graduations at our sending schools. So it's challenging. If you get a chance to look at that document, I would encourage you to kind of see how flexible we actually have to be to get students through the end of the school year, particularly seniors, which is a lot of juggling on everyone's part, including our counseling office, transportation, nonstop. So that's just in there for your information only, basically. And now that's what I have.
Can I make one more quick point about the documenting the competitions and what we've done? If we had a document that students could take with them saying, I got a gold medal at the state level in Vermont and then went to the nationals and came home with a silver medal against 55,000 students nationwide, that's something that would help them in college applications. Mm-hmm. And you could even play that into getting your first job when you get out of college. It's a very important...
A resume
Yeah, it's a very
builder.
important element for the first job that some people are going to get. So I think it's worth documenting.
Go ahead, Ken.
I was out in Pittsfield, and I picked up this weekly. It's similar to the one we have out of Manchester. I think. And it was an ad, because I didn't know how much these different jobs paid, but there's an advertisement here. They're looking, it says, we are hiring Class B drivers, $1,100 a week plus sign-on bonuses. So I did a quick math, $57,200 for a Class B license, which we offer here, because I remember talking to a gentleman, he was saying it's like $2,700 for the whole program, and I said to myself, gee, that's a lot, but I mean, the reward that you could, that sign-on bonus probably would be equal to what the course takes, and then you're
Yeah.
making all that money on the side.
Yeah, and keep in mind that most people that come in are funded either through VSAC or through the Department of Labor too, which covers a majority of that cost. So, or they're already employed by a company that wants them to have a CDL that's going to pay for it. So very few people are paying the $2,900 to take that course.
And the Class A drivers make 14 or 72.8 to start, plus sign-on bonus.
Your earning
So those
potential.
are
Yeah.
really
Very good paying jobs.
Yeah, my goodness, and there's no debt, like you say, maybe sometimes your employer would do this. And one other interesting thing, it may not pertain here, but I was reading in some of the schools in Texas, they have a drive your tractor to school day for the agricultural schools and stuff like that. Massey Ferguson's and John Deere's, all the big ones. They bring them into school and show them off.
Ken, I can tell you that I cannot recall the exact year, but I was still in the classroom, so it had to be probably at least 8 or 9 years ago. I used to park in the side parking lot. Well, debate is at the side, the back, the front, whatever I call it. And I pulled in, and there was a huge John Deere tractor parked in front of automotive. Big tractor. It was a senior who drove it to the last day of school. So, yeah, I guess it does happen.
I guess if we're down to others, have a flyer here from the Vermont School Board Association. They're putting on a full-day professional development opportunity at the Steakhouse Restaurant in Barry, Vermont. It's on June 1st from 9 to 3. The cost is $50. For anybody who hasn't gone to one of these meetings, it'd be a good opportunity to learn a little bit more about the school boards and what we're supposed to be doing and what we can be doing. So I'm going to leave this with Sandy if you are interested. I'm sure she'll give you that copy of it so that you can, maybe we could even carpool to go out.
One came in my email.
Yeah, it was emailed to everybody today, I think.
Yeah, we just got that in the mail today, so.
Must not be on my list. Okay, other than that, anybody else has anything else you'd like to talk about?
You can eat a 64-ounce steak up there, they'll give it to you for free.
Really?
How much does it cost if you don't eat?
I don't know, about 80 bucks.
Like the great outdoors, I know. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Randy made the motion, Ken second, all in favor? Good night.
Right.
Good night, Jessica.